Of all the tools in the shop, I think a bandsaw is one of the most versatile tools you can have. There are so many things you can do on this, from cutting curves to cutting straight lines. I'm going to show you a bunch of that on the Harvey bandsaw. Now, I know what's happening. A bunch of you are watching this and you're screaming at me right now. Never set a drink on the bandsaw. Any tool, you're going to get that rusty in like 14 billionths of a second. One of the things that's really cool with Harvey, there's a nickel plating on this saw. That is not going to allow this to rust. So I very intentionally set my drink on there, and I very intentionally had a little Gatorade accident just to be able to point out that one of the huge benefits to this is that we can't get it rusty. Now, where that's really going to pay off is in a little bit, you're going to see me cut a bowl blank, which is dripping wet green. You're going to see me do logs to lumber. That's dripping wet green. So cutting that green wood on here, I don't have to have the concern of meticulously cleaning the table because it's going to get rusty right away. Let's look at a bunch of different stuff we can do on this bandsaw. I love having a brake on a bandsaw, minus a brake. Huge flywheels in here, and when you turn a bandsaw off, it runs and it runs and it runs and it runs. So the safety of bringing that blade to a stop fast is huge. Running a 1/4 inch, 4 tooth per inch blade, like I am right now, one of the things we can do with a bandsaw is we can easily cut curves, like cutting out this furniture foot. Now, one of the things that's great about a bandsaw is that we can go big, something that would be really hard to do with a jigsaw or a scroll saw. So if I need 3 legs for this project, which I do, instead of cutting 1 at a time, I can very, very easily cut 3 at a time. So versatility of a bandsaw, part 1, there's our brake, is I can cut curves in pretty much anything, taking full advantage of the thickness capacity on a big saw like this. From cutting curves, now I've switched to joinery. Instead of a 1/4 inch, 4 tooth per inch blade, I've got a 3/16 10 tooth per inch blade. That's going to give me a really good surface finish on these through dovetails I'm cutting. One of the things to notice here is that for this part of the joint, the table is angled down to the left. Not every bandsaw will angle down to the left, so that's very handy. Now, when I want to come down to the right to get the other angle, I can take advantage of this hand wheel, and I got to stick my head in there to see what angle I'm on and dial that in like that. It makes it, especially with a big heavy table like this, that hand wheel makes it so easy to adjust the angles back and forth. Next cut I need is at 90. So when I put this leg back in, like that, go till I stop, good to go. So, in our world of versatility, joinery on a bandsaw is one of the things it's really good at. Another blade change, now I'm running a 3/8, 3 tooth per inch blade. That's the blade I use when I'm cutting bowl blanks. I turn my bowls green, so this blank I'm about to cut is dripping wet green, just the way I like them. This is a great time to call out, again, the nickel coating on that table. With this wet wood, wet sawdust, wet everything, I can't get the table rusty because it can't get rusty. That beautiful blank is ready to go to the lathe. With another blade change, this bandsaw is now a saw mill, and we can very easily convert this log into lumber. Now I'm running a 1-inch, 3 tooth per inch blade. Once again, like the bowl blank, you want to do this while the wood is wet. That's the best way to cut logs into lumber. So this chunk of maple is dripping wet green. Good thing we have a nickel table. I have logs to lumbered, is that a verb, on a bandsaw many times. It is always so much fun when that opens up and you get to see what this gift brought you, just how pretty that wood is. Next step, what I would do with this is put the fence on and start resawing this into planks. So we did a bunch of stuff here. Cut curves and thick stuff, did joinery through Dovetail, cut a dripping wet bowl blank, cut a dripping wet log. So great bandsaw. The Harvey saw is a great saw for doing this. I love that with that nickel table. I don't have to sweat the wet wood that I so commonly cut in my shop. And it's just got lots of great attributes going. The brake, the trunnion on the table, quick release for blade tension. Great machine.